Salt Lake City, Utah.
Tonight at 7 on Arizona PBS. Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
Robert's Catering, providing catering, wedding cakes, and related services to the greater Phoenix area since 1982. From simple parties to extravagant galas, Robert's Catering, working to provide all your catering needs.
Explore new ideas and new worlds here on Arizona PBS, a community service of Arizona State University.
If you are 60 or over, consider a charitable gift annuity with Arizona PBS. A charitable gift annuity will provide you a steady stream of income during your lifetime and also help ensure that Arizona PBS is available for future generations.
Coming up next on Arizona PBS, Life and World. Get the inside scoop on what's happening at Arizona PBS. Become an insider. You'll receive weekly updates on the most anticipated upcoming programs and events. Get the insider delivered to your email inbox. Visit azpbs.org to sign up today. Coming soon to Arizona PBS.
The Dakota Access Pipeline, at the front line of Native American rights.
We're a sovereign nation, and we're putting our foot down. You can't do this to us anymore.
Beyond Standing Rock.
Tuesday night at 7 on Arizona PBS. Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
More than 90% of the time, hospice care is delivered in the best place of all, home. Hospice of the Valley has been providing quality care at home since 1977. Not for profit, for comfort.
Deanne Griebel, now with Moores & Cabot Investments, serving investors since 1890, proudly supports quality programming on 8 Arizona PBS, 480-725-9602.
From the Cronkite Studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
Politicians across the nation have been facing unusually rowdy town hall meetings. How crowds are changing public policy here in Arizona.
And what a survey has now found needs to be done to better prepare Arizona police officers when faced with suspects who suffer from mental illness.
And 2016 was the deadliest year on the road coast to coast. We look at reasons why the annual death toll keeps rising.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Zach Pockleb.
And I'm Emma Lockhart. Thank you for joining us. 2018 is just around the corner, which means it's time to think re-election for Senator Jeff Flake, as well as all Arizona's representatives in the U.S. House. Reporter Drew Marine shows us what several of those soon-to-be candidates face from their constituents.
Backlash isn't anything Senator Jeff Flake hasn't taken before, especially for his views on the most controversial issues. And one of the topics that earns him critics is his opposition to the American Health Care Act. Flake says that repealing Obamacare is in the best interest of Arizonans, and that as a Republican, he is trying his best to offer a different plan.
The state of Arizona has been ground zero for the failure of the Obamacare exchange. In every county in Arizona, a family of 4 is paying more for their health care premium than they are for their mortgage.
He's not the only one who received cheers and jeers on that subject. So did Republican Congressman Andy Biggs from District 5.
We've been working on the Obamacare repeal as promised. There's not a Republican who ran who did not promise to repeal Obamacare.
Both Biggs and Flake took questions from the audience.
When confronted with issues about women's reproductive rights, immigration policies, and school funding, Senator Jeff Flake answered with roundabout answers that included, "I'm sorry, we disagree."
And even though Flake received many boos, one supporter says Senator Flake is doing his best to represent all Arizonans.
he cannot make everyone happy, but he must do something that benefits most of the people. Some people might not be happy with that, but he's trying his best.
Taking a different tack, Democratic Congressman Ruben Gallego focused on one specific group at the event he hosted in Spanish, those dealing with immigration and the fear of deportation.
A direct consequence of a really bad rollout that the president had when it came to executive orders, and this is why we're having these types of events to try to bring a little more stability to the community right now so they don't believe in just all these whispers that are going out there.
A common theme at all of these events, a feeling of civic responsibility from the constituents.
Why aren't you listening to us?
In Mesa, Drew Marine, Cronkite News.
And Arizona gets ready for more national political attention as former presidential candidate Bernie Sanders visits the Valley this week. Sanders is scheduled to visit Mesa this Friday as a part of a Come Together and Fight Back tour. The tour aims to increase the Democratic Party's presence across the country. Sanders was last in Arizona in 2016 to campaign for his run for presidency and then again to support Hillary Clinton as a Democratic nominee. Governor Doug Ducey has signed a bill today that will add tougher sentences for assaulting an off-duty law enforcement officer. SB 1366, also called the, quote, Blue Lives Matter law, has drawn criticism from Democratic lawmakers and civil rights groups who say it is an affront to the Black Lives Matter movement. Assaulting an on-duty or an off-duty officer already draws a harsh sentence, but this bill is expected to bring even higher protections.
Findings from a survey show the need for more police crisis training when responding to someone suffering from mental illness. I learned what the city of Phoenix is doing to better educate and train officers.
I've witnessed a lot, and I've talked to a lot of people that have gone through it. I've talked to people that if they see a badge and a gun, they'll just black out.
The results from a survey taken a year ago were just released by the Phoenix Mayor's Commission on Disabilities Issues. The findings show a need for more police crisis intervention training. Robert Wright, a peer support specialist at Shears Recovery Center, suffers from depression and understands why more training is needed.
Just to run up and yell at me and have your gun unsnapped and, you know, be holding your baton, what that does is that triggers a lot of people.
According to the survey, 45% of participants who had an encounter with police officers while in crisis said they made the situation worse. These results have already sparked change. In the past year, there's been an increase in crisis intervention training and hands-on education.
More role-playing scenarios involving actors who are portraying people who are in crisis with mental illness and helping officers develop their skills in that setting.
We used to struggle to get 75 to 100 police officers trained every single year, and now we're at 360.
The Phoenix Police Department hopes that number grows even more. Wright says more education about mental health can help build a stronger relationship between police officers and the mental health community.
Mercy Maricopa says if you see a person in crisis and they are not a danger to anyone, to call the Behavioral Health Crisis Line instead of 911.
On an average day, nearly 3 people are killed on Arizona roads, according to recent data. Those numbers have been going up over the last few years. Reporter Tyler Fingert has the story from our nation's capital.
The Federal Highway Administration says the number of miles driven on U.S. roads topped 3.2 trillion miles last year. With those extra miles comes a rise in fatal crashes. 2016 was the deadliest year on roads from coast to coast in nearly a decade. The National Safety Council says just over 40,000 people lost their lives.
This is a terrible trajectory for our country, but there are a lot of things that we can do, all of us individually and collectively, to help drive down those numbers.
In 2016, almost 1,000 people died in car crashes throughout Arizona. That's up almost 25% in just 2 years.
Well, unfortunately, the news is not good in Arizona either. And the national average, we went up about 6% in fatal crashes in 2016. In Arizona, that number's 8%.
It's not just a problem in Arizona. Here on the streets of Washington, D.C., the numbers are up as well. And there's concern it could get even worse if drivers continue to drive distracted or speed.
If states crack down on some of the reasons that we see for the most number of fatalities, things like impaired driving or speeding, really could see this number come down a lot.
The Arizona Department of Transportation is pulling the issue into the headlights by using creative freeway signs to highlight the problem. Messages that may be clever enough to grab your attention as the problem continues to head in the wrong direction.
I don't think any of us will ever be satisfied until we reach 0 deaths on our roadways. We can do and we must do much better.
Hope for improvement as a record number of people hit the road. In Washington, Tyler Fingert, Cronkite News.
As gas prices go upward, millennials are still going onward. Chloe Ranshaw reports it's not deterring them from filling up.
Trying to figure out how to get from point A to point B is important, and knowing how much it's going to cost as well.
As temperatures rise, so do gas prices, by 40 cents alone this month, says AAA Arizona. The group also says millennials are handling the price increase better than other consumers.
I have to do more work to get to what I need, because I need to get where I need to go no matter what.
Kind of just plan differently. I kind of try to drive more fuel efficient.
Higher demand for gas over the summer and a switch to a more expensive summer gas blend will send prices soaring. AAA expects gas prices to peak this summer at $2.70 per gallon, a 75-cent increase from last year. Millennials aren't fueling up less on gas. They're just finding balance and spending less on other things.
We're seeing, especially with the younger demographic, that they are not planning to let high gas prices curb any of their travel style this summer.
70% of all consumers would spend less on food or delay big-ticket items to compensate for more expensive gas.
We see more carpooling for day-to-day type things, staying closer to home, shaving a day off of a trip.
I typically just pay for the gas and just go with it.
In Phoenix, Chloe Ranshaw, Cronkite News.
AAA expects prices to continue to creep up, raising 40 cents a gallon in April. Entrepreneurs at GCU are tackling the world of virtual reality.
Coming up, we meet one student who designed a way to use VR technology to help people with Alzheimer's.
And how the Pathways to Admission program is helping Starbucks employees fund their education at ASU.
Managing editor of the CBS Evening News. In our changing media landscape, it is crucial for journalism education to ensure a commitment to the truth, unbiased reporting, strong ethics, unwavering fairness, and above all else, accuracy. These are the hallmarks of ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. It's a place where students can innovate and transform the news industry while always upholding the values of the school's namesake. The Cronkite School at ASU, preparing the next generation for a stronger future of journalism.
Discover so much more at azpbs.org/schedule, where it's easier than ever to find out what's on Arizona PBS. Access interactive digital and printable program guides, repeat times, and full episode descriptions. Watch program previews of best bets for the coming week. Search by title to find your favorite shows. You can even add programs to your calendar and get email reminders when they're about to start. It's easier than ever to find out what's on Arizona PBS. Discover so much more at azpbs.org/schedule. When you want to be more connected, friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, watch us online.
I was at the post office mailing something. I asked the clerk, "How do they let you know if your son is wounded?" It was very hard for me to form those words, but I just felt, I've got to know. I just felt so suspended in space and anxiety. And the man said, "Now, don't worry. They'll tell you."
Colleges throughout Grand Canyon University came out to participate in the 6th Annual Canyon Challenge.
Fry Bennett takes a look inside the business competition that plans to set up aspiring entrepreneurs for success.
Justin Hammond created a product based off virtual reality that was an idea inspired by his mother, who was diagnosed with Alzheimer's during his freshman year of college.
So the idea is that we're reducing the symptoms of dementia, which can range from agitation, anxiety, depression, low self-esteem. And our concept is that we're using music therapy, reminiscence therapy, art therapy, and pet therapy. And these have all been shown to help those symptoms of Alzheimer's and dementia.
Zenjoy VR uses virtual reality goggles to help alleviate some of the symptoms of dementia. The company also has Zenjoy Care that can be displayed on any device where family and friends can share what they're doing with their loved ones who have Alzheimer's, similar to Facebook.
We have a demo of our application that we are working with memory care facility to deploy a pilot program. And we're also working with Banner Alzheimer's Institute, and we're in early discussions about how we would potentially start a clinical study with them.
Last week, Hammond came in third place at the Canyon Challenge, a business competition at Grand Canyon University where aspiring entrepreneurs present their product ideas to potential investors. Although Hammond only received $1,000 for his business, entrepreneur Professor Tim Kelly says every entrepreneur has room to grow.
Doing pitch competitions is something that really helps entrepreneurs begin to refine their ideas, and they're done all across the country, the world now, as a way to really help entrepreneurs develop, learn.
Learned that it's a long process to build a company, and it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Hammond's main goal is to create a better quality of life for those with Alzheimer's. In Phoenix, Farai Bennett, Cronkite News.
Starbucks and ASU are making higher education more accessible.
Reporter Kennedy Scott explains how employees who didn't meet the academic requirement are now getting the opportunity to earn a degree.
When you see that 1 in 5 of your people aren't qualifying for that opportunity, you really want to do everything that you can to kind of knock down those barriers to admission and open up that opportunity to your people.
Starbucks and Arizona State University formed a partnership 3 years ago, allowing Starbucks employees the opportunity to earn an online degree debt-free. However, the coffee company soon discovered that some employees were unable to participate in the program.
1 in 5 of our employees, our partners, were finding themselves unable to qualify for admission to the university. And so we created a program with ASU's help called Pathways to Admission.
The program works with each employee to help them gain admission to ASU.
There will be individualized programs for students, whether it's helping them to prepare better for testing, whether it's preliminary work on coursework that will help them gain admission. It will really be sort of tailored to the needs of that individual student.
Making higher education more accessible has benefited Starbucks.
It's great for the company. The folks that attend Arizona State and graduate stay twice as long as the rest of our employees do.
Starbucks employee Shane Vance said the Starbucks College Achievement Plan put him on a better path.
I was kind of riding on the fact that I was going to be in debt after I graduated, but I was just accepting that as like a fact of the college experience.
Starbucks employees must work an average of 20 hours a week to participate in the program. Reporting in downtown Phoenix, I'm Kennedy Scott.
About 15,000 employees will be eligible for admission through the new program.
And they will receive partial scholarships and financial aid from ASU, with Starbucks willing to reimburse any remaining fees. Coming up on Cronkite News, MIT and ASU are teaming up to hit the books.
And how their research will give insight to what life was like a century ago.
And we're taking a look at your temperatures and when you could see those anticipated or maybe dreaded triple digits up next.
I think I finally found my hallelujah. I've been waiting for this moment all my life now. All my dreams are coming true, yeah. I've been waiting for this moment. It's good to be alive right about now. Right about now.
Officially from 36, and he hooks it in. Arizona State wins. Keeping one deep, and it is caught. Jalen Strong. Do you believe it?
combat is like crack cocaine. It's an enormous high, but it has enormous costs. And I think that we make a big mistake if we say, oh, well, war is hell. We all know the war is hell story. It is, but there's an enormously exhilarating part of it.
There's a treasure hunt of sorts happening at ASU's Hayden Library. Students are searching for clues to the past. Cronkite News reporter Kaylee Nassif takes us into the stacks and shows us what they're looking for in between the pages.
ASU's Hayden Library is about to undergo major renovations. It's been open since 1966, but some of the books are much older. I met with an ASU professor who's hoping to find something new in those books before they're moved. Nestled on the third floor of Arizona State University's Hayden Library are the PR and PS sections. These rows are home to 13,000 out-of-copyright books that are of special interest to ASU English professor Devaney Lozer.
We have some things in our library that are only here, and that will be useful to future historians, future biographers who might look at these works of literature.
Professor Lozer directs ASU's Book Traces project, which takes students through the Hayden Library stacks in search of unique signs of ownership and readership.
Going to remind people about the old things, or we can find something really funny or kind of interesting.
Participants in the ASU Book Traces project go through the stacks of Hayden Library, and when they find a book, they see if they can find an inscription. When they do, they bring the book to Professor Lozer, and if it's significant, she adds it to her spreadsheet. The hope is that the information will be added to the catalog records for those books.
As more and more of our tools and resources are available online, we're rethinking kind of how we interact with print.
Professor Lozer knows paleography, the study of old handwriting, so she's able to make out the centuries-old notes and decide whether something is important or not.
Sometimes we're finding gift inscriptions or evidence that the book was given as a present by the editor or by the author. Things that tell us how the book was used, who might have owned it, and things that tell us about history.
ASU was established in 1885, so many of the library books from before that were donated. This leads to many of the project's findings.
What I tell students after they volunteered is, you've contributed to history, you've helped history.
The next Book Traces events are Wednesday and Thursday from 12 to 2 p.m. in Hayden Library. Professor Lozer also hopes to put together a special exhibit of all the project's findings after the renovations are done. In Tempe, Kaylee Nassif, Cronkite News.
Hikers in southern Arizona are trying to put an end to commercial horseback rides they say are damaging a popular hiking trail. A petition is circulating to ban guided horse tours along the Coronado National Forest Trail in Oro Valley. The petition will be presented to forest officials before they decide on renewing the permit for rides next month. The Hilton Tucson El Conquistador Golf and Tennis Resort offers the rides, and manager Guy Alexander says losing the permit would have a negative economic impact in the area. Summer's almost here, and Phoenix is definitely feeling the heat.
Chloe Ranshaw is in the Cronkite Weather Center to see how high temperatures will climb this week. Chloe?
Well, it's been a beautiful close to your Easter weekend. We're seeing a high of 92 degrees today and a low of 62 degrees. That is creeping up to those triple digits and that record that we saw in 1987. As for the rest of your valley and your temperatures that you're seeing today, you'll see 93 degrees in Phoenix, 90 degrees in Lake Havasu, and 88 degrees in Tucson. Taking a closer look, 88 degrees in Chandler, 88 degrees in Florence as well, and still 89 degrees in Goodyear. Those temperatures will dip down just a bit after sunrise. You may see some clouds tonight, but those will clear later into the evening. As for the rest of your week, it's pretty high. 94 degrees tomorrow, 92 degrees on Wednesday, and 93 degrees on Thursday. A surprise for your weekend, 101 degrees on Sunday, and even 100 degrees next Monday. In the Cronkite Weather Center, I'm Chloe Ranshaw.
Keeping your kids focused while at the movies can be a hassle.
Coming up next on Cronkite News, we met with one company who has built a playground inside a movie theater. Why this theater encourages kids to play during the films.
Heaven knows you're a dreamer. Don't hide it from anyone. Don't hide it from anyone. Would you believe me if I said we are here for a reason now? This is our life.
In recent years, the movie business has been under assault by various new entertainment technologies and options. Cronkite News reporter Chantel Delagula talked with one company in Los Angeles who has come up with an idea that appeals to young families.
We've all gone to the movies dozens, if not hundreds of times, but you probably haven't gone to a theater with a 55-foot long and 25-foot high play structure. Sinopolis Jr. is the nation's first dedicated children's movie theater, designed for kids ages 3 to 12 years old.
We show PJ movies. We have a gym inside. We have a playground.
The playground provides a place to hang out, whether it be 20 minutes before the movie starts and even during
intermission. There wasn't really any breaks throughout any theaters that I've been. That's what I like about it.
Children must be accompanied at all times by an adult, but parents enjoy knowing there's extra help in case the kids get out of hand.
We have a cast member at all times in there as well, so make sure everybody's following the rules, following the procedures, and we also make sure that the adults are taken care of.
I'm pretty sure they'll load the games and the movie theater. Plus, my wife, there's a lot of shopping around.
The theater offers bright and colorful play areas as well as alternative seating like lounge chairs and big comfy bean bags.
I really like with all the seats that they had it really different, like the beach seats and like the big chairs.
And the price for a ticket can be surprising to most guests.
Only $1 more.
Lopez says it's clear the theater has become a success because he's received positive feedback in the weeks it's been open.
They're pretty amazed. We see families come back every week.
In Pico Rivera, Chantel Delagula, Cronkite News.
Sinopolis Jr. has only 2 locations in the U.S., one in San Diego and the other in Pico Rivera. The company plans on opening additional theaters in the next few years.
Finally, tonight we want to share the news of a special recognition in the world of journalism. Judy Woodruff and Gwen Ifill have been named co-recipients of the 2017 Walter Cronkite Award for Excellence in Journalism. Ifill and Woodruff have made history as the first female team to serve as PBS NewsHour anchors and co-managing editors.
To receive it on behalf of both Gwen and me, it's just incredibly moving. Losing Gwen has left a big hole in all of our hearts here at the NewsHour, but she leaves a legacy that is important to the work we do here every day. She stood for the best in journalism. She stood for fairness. She stood for accuracy, for getting it right. And that's what we're all about every day. So Gwen will always be an inspiration to us. She'll always be part of the NewsHour family.
Woodruff will accept the 34th Annual Cronkite Award at luncheon ceremony here in downtown Phoenix on October 19th.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Next time on Antiques Roadshow, find out why this violin makes this guest cry.
I said, I want to see how much it's worth.
It's a little time capsule.
Yeah.
Better than you think.
It's incredible.
Next time on Antiques Roadshow from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Tonight at 7 on Arizona PBS. Explore new ideas and new worlds here on Arizona PBS, a community service of Arizona State University.
The Sandra Day O'Connor Institute Distinguished Speaker Series presents More Than 60 Minutes with Leslie Stahl, Emmy Award-winning journalist, best-selling author, news reporter, and correspondent. Master of Ceremonies and moderator will be Christopher Callahan. You can attend this unique reception and luncheon at the Arizona Biltmore on Wednesday, April 26th, starting at noon. Information is available at o'connorinstitute.org or call 602-730-3300.
Coming up next on Arizona PBS, Life and World. Become a news source for the Arizona PBS Public Insight Network. Your ideas and insights can help us create relevant and distinctive reporting. Join now at azpbs.org/pin. Coming soon to Arizona PBS.